Hey folks, welcome back. Thanks for clicking on this video. A quick one today. I just decided first thing this morning I'm going to go take the e-bike out over the local reservoir here and have a go at improving on my fishing skills. I'm going to have a bit of breakfast while I'm over there as well, so stick along. Hopefully it should be a good one. Okay, so I'm here down at the reservoir. What I'm going to do is get the bike unloaded and I'll bring you back once I've set off. Okay, bike's off, rucksack's on, I've got everything in there I need. I'm going to set off and I should be at where I want to be in about 15 or 20 minutes. It's only 8 o'clock in the morning here, so it's pretty busy actually for 8 o'clock in the morning, but it is school holidays, so I suppose it's to be expected. Alright, so I'm going to get going and I'll bring you back. Lots of walkers out today. Get through this gate. Coffee shop there. There is the water. Okay, let's go. This is what I love about Australia. Everywhere you go, every recreation ground, every park, every kid's playground, there's an electric barbecue. Just push a button, it's free, it fires up. And it's just fantastic. Table and chairs everywhere, all the way around this reservoir. So a lap of this reservoir is 11 kilometres. Absolutely beautiful. Right, let's get going. See if I can find some kangaroos for you. I just wanted to show you this. This is where the reservoir is fed. So surrounding Adelaide are hills, I wouldn't say mountains, but fairly substantial hills. And up there's a very large collection reservoir. And then that feeds down into this reservoir. This is Happy Valley Reservoir in South Australia. And you can probably see there's a large number of roos here. Let's see if I can get a bit nearer. These are our native marsupials to Australia. And they obviously hang around here at the water's edge because the grass and the whatever they eat, moss I think it is, I can see. It's obviously lush. Let's see if I can get a bit nearer. Hello. Hello. I'm not going to hurt you. You're having your breakfast? Of course you are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, yep. Beautiful. So I'm going to head over there to that bench, so I'm going to set up and I'm going to try and do a bit of fishing off there and see if we can get some luck. Well, what a spot. Come down a little bit so you can see me. Stacks of kangaroos behind me. I've got the water there in front of me. I've got a bench and chairs, a table and chairs to sit at. I'm having breakfast. It's looking good. Right, get this backpack off. Fishing rod. Reel. I've got a selection of lures here. A beautiful day. It's a bit chilly, but the sun's up. Look, it's just gorgeous being by the water and out in the woods. Right now, I'm no expert, as you know, but I've got a Raider, a Shimano Raider 4-piece travel rod. I've actually got an 8-foot version of this that I use for sea fishing. Fantastic rods, really fantastic. This was in a sale, it was reduced from 160 bucks down to 130, and then I had a $25 voucher. So basically got it for just over 100 bucks. Standard 3000 Shimano Sienna 4000 reel, sorry. Probably a bit big for that, but we'll give it a go. Now in this reservoir they've got redfin, which around the world are known as perch maybe. They've got Murray cod, which are our pressured species here in South Australia. You're not allowed to keep them, you have to put them back, and there's only certain periods that you can in the year that you can actually fish for them. And apparently they've stocked this reservoir with some trout. Now back in the UK I was a crazy trout fisherman on the fly, so proper old school fly fishing, and that's something I haven't done for since I left 12 years ago. So I'm just trying to get back into some form of fishing here. This is literally, this reservoir is like 15 minutes from where I live, so it's ideal. I should make the most of it. So I've got a Tasmanian Devil. I've got a metal tail spinner. It's called a Flashpoint. They have a vibration, so there's a ball bearing swivel that creates vibration on them. I might go with one of those first actually. Actually I've got a couple of them in different colours. I've got it's called a sweeper, a Sari sweeper. They call it a shad shape crankbait. Shad shape crankbait. Works best in the shallows. I might give that a go if I don't get any luck with the others. Anyway, I'm going to get my rod, my reel, all set up, and then I will get into some fishing. I want to see how near I can get to these kangaroos basking in the sunshine. Hello. Hello. Oh, beautiful. Hello. Oh, thank you for standing up and giving me a good show. You having a scratch? Fantastic animals. And this is the reservoir. Okay, down on the water's edge. Try and find a decent place to set myself up. This looks as good as any. Okay, let's give it a go. This is a really lightweight setup. As I said, it's a Raider travel rod. I think it's rated at 3 to 6 kilos lure weight. The lure should be between 5 and 18 kilos, so this lure here is probably a little bit too heavy, but we'll give it a go anyway. Hopefully it doesn't snap the rod. Oh, it casts well. I'm on the bottom already. It's pretty heavy. Yeah, I think that's probably a little bit too heavy. Okay, so I swapped over to a lighter lure. Hopefully it won't snag on the bottom so much. I'll give it a cast out and see. I'll send it with the tide. I'm just going to walk along the bank a little bit. Some really big herons there. Okay, I think I'm going to put some breakfast on. I'm bloody cold. I'm going to get a coffee on. I'm going to make a bacon sandwich. Then I might think about moving a bit further around the reservoir, see if I have any joy around there. Let's get some breakfast on. All right, so today I'm using my little jet boil equivalent rip-off, if you like, jet boil rip-off. It's a Campmaster stove. Great little gas stove. You can use it like a jet boil with a big cup that goes on there. They also supply you with what do you call this little burner top. That locates on the ring like that. Turn the gas on. Hopefully the gas isn't too cold. Can be a problem with some of these burners, or some of these stoves, sorry. If it's a cold day, the gas struggles. Right. Get the brew on. Hopefully that'll stay on there. I can hear that gas is trying to go out, but hopefully it'll last to cook me some food. I've got a little wind deflector here that I can put around. This is the wind that's affecting it. Oh. This seems better. Oh, excuse me. Right, let's get that coffee cooking, and then we get some bacon on. Right, got a little fold-out pan, frying pan here. For the bacon. I might just move this over a little bit. Okay, water's boiled. Let's get this pan on, get some bacon on. Because that is the main event. I feel this windshield is probably a little bit too flimsy for this purpose today. It is pretty windy, it might not look like it, but it is pretty windy today and it's cold. It is cold. Hopefully I'm getting, whoa. See, you even get the bloopers on here. So I'm probably going to have to hold on to that pan if the wind picks up again. Alright, let's get my coffee done. Stay on there. A little bit of sweet stuff. What an amazing place to have on my doorstep. With our mix. Looking forward to this. I need something to warm me up. Washing up done. So it's been a bit of a break in the videos the last few weeks. I took my family away on a little trip. Oh, listen to that sizzle. School holidays here in South Australia at the moment. So yeah, we went away. Actually went on a cruise, which was very nice. Went to the South Pacific. So I think we stopped at 3 islands. Mystery Island, which is off Vanuatu, I believe. We went to a place called Lifu, which is owned by the French. Lifu, Mystery Island. There was another one, can't think of it at the moment. Lovely, just too much food. Well, it was a nice break. I also, prior to that, got a bit poorly. So I was unable to get out and make some videos, but fit and healthy again now. Just get a reg. I'm back out doing what I enjoy. Just turn this bacon over. Nothing better than the smell of bacon in the morning, especially when you're hungry, when it's cold as well. Oh, awesome. Get it nice and brown, cooked through. A couple of nice slices of fresh bread there to put in. So yeah, there's been about a 3-week gap between videos. I think the last one I did was the installation and review on my XTM rooftop tent, and I'll do a bit more of a review on the comfort of that. I'll let you know in the morning once I'm up and about just how comfortable that was. Yeah, should be a good video. Watch out for that one. Can't wait to get stuck into this. The brews are still laying around me. They don't seem fazed by any human contact really. They don't come too near. I guess they're so used to seeing people around this reservoir. Alright, so I'm just going to wait for that to cook. Oh yeah, that's good. Once I get my sandwich made up, I'll bring you back. Okay, I think the bacon's cooked. That on there, so I'm down the table. And shut the gas down. It's a shame, I was enjoying that heat. It's nice. Okay. Let's get the meat in the sandwich. Oh yeah, it smells lovely. Look at that. Perfect for a cold morning like today. Goes great with hot coffee. Sorry if you can hear me chewing. Alright, I'm going to get this inside me and then I'll pack up and head further around the reservoir and have another flick with the rod and see what we get. So while I was just sitting here having my breakfast, I went into a little bit of a nostalgic mood, I guess. And I was thinking back to when I was a kid back in the UK. My grandfather was an avid fisherman. He absolutely loved it. He lived for fishing, and I used to go with him. Now, you know, I'm talking 40 years ago. I was just a little fella. I remember us getting up in the mornings and my nan making up you know, the old plastic flask with a plastic screw on top, not like the metal ones we've got now. Sometimes they had like a tartan pattern around them. If you know, you know. Had the two little plastic cups on top, and we used to make up a flask of tea or coffee, whatever we were having on the day, and then we'd always have tin corned beef sandwiches. And because my grandfather had allotments, he used to grow his own vegetables. He grew everything, fruits, vegetables, a lot. We'd go down and he'd grab handfuls of spring onions and put them in a plastic bag with salt and pepper. And that was our lunch for the day. Corned beef sandwiches in homemade bread. My nan used to bake the bread. And spring onions, you know. And when I think about it, it was so dull. It'd be so dull now, but at the time, when you're hungry and you're young, you just eat what you get. And we'd had this flask of coffee. Now, you know, you'd be 2 hours into the fishing trip, you'd already had a coffee or a tea, and then you go back to another one, and then it started getting colder because there was less fluid in the flask, you know, and you end up with a lukewarm cup of tea at the end of the fishing session. And I just think to myself how much he would have loved it now that we have these little gas stoves that we can take with us. You know, we can take a bottle of water, we can brew tea and coffee as and when, and it's always hot. You know, we can have little cook-ups like I've just done, a bacon sandwich, you know, whatever. He would have absolutely loved it. You know, I was just sitting here thinking about it, and I thought, wow, he would have loved this place. He really would have done. Anyway, enough of the nostalgia. Let's get going. So that's me all packed away now. I'm going to get my rucksack back on, grab the fishing rod, and I'm going to head further down the reservoir and have another little go at some fish. I'm trying to improve my fishing skills. If you feel you can help me, if you've got that skill set, then by all means drop me a line, leave some comments in how I can improve on my fishing ability, because I would like to start catching some fish. But yeah, I'm going to get on my way and I'll bring you back when I find a nice spot, and again we'll have another little flick. So I've moved down the bank of the reservoir a little bit. I've found some reeds, which is structure. Apparently fish like structure. So I'm going to fire out there a little bit and see if I've got any little nibbles. This reservoir is so shallow. Got some amazing bird life here. Some huge herons. I saw a black swan just over there. And then we've got more hens and coots and all sorts of ducks. Oh, it's probably a bit too near. There is fish out there. They don't seem to be too hungry at the moment. You know what, even if I don't catch fish, I just enjoy being by the water. I don't know if that's because I'm a Pisces. Apparently if you're a Pisces, you love the water, being around the water. But I just get such relaxation, I guess, from being near the water. And all this stuff's good for your mental health, you know. That's why I do it. Keep myself grounded, keep in touch with nature. And it's good for the old mental health as well. Let's flick it down that channel a bit. I really want to try and get near to those dried up rushes there. I don't want to get too near. I'm not that good a caster at the moment, and I don't want to get snagged out there. This water is too cold to be going out paddling. I'll go a couple more. It's nice and warm in the sun. It's just bloody freezing when you're in the shade. Picking up a lot of debris off the bottom. Seaweed stuff. I love the action of this lure. As it goes through the water, it snakes, and you can see it's a really bright effervescent green. Again, I don't know if that's any good for these conditions or not. I mean, the water is pretty clean in here. It's very clear. I can see the bottom for probably 5 or 6 meters out. Should I be using a bright lure? Should I be using a dull lure? I don't know. Anyway, last one. Let's see. That's a better cast. Not much luck. Right, well, I think I'm probably going to call the video there. I'm going to break this rod down, put it back into its container, chuck it in my rucksack, and I'm going to get back on the bike and I'm going to head off home. So look, if you like this type of content, I can only develop in how I'm producing this stuff. I'm still very young in this whole YouTube content making world. But if you like this sort of content, then please consider subscribing. It really helps the channel out. It shows me that people are interested, and it keeps me engaged and interested in doing what I'm doing. So until the next one, I hope you enjoyed this. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon.